occurred in 2018 in a different form. You probably now hold the record again of the country which took the longest ever to announce presidential election results. If you go by what happened in 2008, you think we are the most illiterate nation in the world, which can't do basic arithmetic for more than a month. So it has happened in this country. We didn't have a plan in 2008, and you ended up with what I can, with hindsight, call the tragedy of the inclusive government, which we entered into in good faith, but others entered it in bad faith, simply to buy time. But that's not your question. We obviously, as a party, obviously, if we succeed in building a coalition, this is one of the core issues that we have to address. And indeed, that very issue speaks to the need for electoral reform as well, as to what sort of legal instruments you put in place to prevent a losing person declaring that they have not lost, when in fact it's plain for everybody to see that they have lost. You need a legal framework which will ensure that the victor does not need the consent of the loser to be sworn in and to take over the country. And in my view, that's part of some of the electoral reforms that should be made. In fact, the idea of these lengthened swearing-in ceremonies, there should be a swearing-in ceremony. Instantly, the result is announced by those who announce the result. In my view, you need those reforms that if the electoral body says so and so has won, and that person, all the candidates should be nearby and they are sworn in. And you have no legal lacuna of someone saying, I will not been sworn in and I'm still the government, I'm still the head of state. So you have those reforms that I think are necessary, but you also need a culture change. Not just here in Zimbabwe, as you say, but across Africa. It's so unfortunate, so sad that this continues to happen and again in our continent. There are results elsewhere in the world which people don't like, but they accept as the democratic verdict of the people. And we should learn to do that as well. The tragic thing is that our politics is a zero-sum game. Being the problem again of basically using political power as your means and instrument to work. And people have no other ways of making a living. You are president, you become looter-in-chief, and you lose power, you then believe there is no life after that, you rather drag down the country. That's the tragedy of Africa, so we need a different culture, a political culture. Hopefully we will make progress. But I must say that on the African continent, we are better today than we were 10 years ago, notwithstanding the examples you cite of Gambia and a few others. Progress has been made, and we hope that progress will continue to be made. It is excellent in West Africa that ECOWAS and others have said, no, you must step down. And I think the more these regional bodies, the AU, are able to say, no, you have lost, you will go, and we will subject you to measures that will make it impossible for you to continue illegally, I think we'll see less and less of this sort of thing.